Day two of the first test against the West Indies is pretty much going South Africa's way. I think that the test series so far is the first test so far is going South Africa's way. You can see the way they bowled in their spell and in their innings when the West Indies were batting, and of course now you can see the way they are batting, accumulating runs, enough runs to put on a decent lead. Now, because of the low total that the West Indies scored, it would be obviously a lot easier for South Africa to put on a proper lead. Now, we know that Dean Algo before has said that he wants his batsmen to score massive hundreds and massive centuries and go really deep. And you could see the disappointment of Aiden Markram when he went out for 60. But it helps when your middle order can rack up decent runs to get you into the lead. So we're going to be talking about the batting approach in this particular episode, going into this particular game, going into this obviously third session and fourth session. Is batting going to get easier? Do they have to change their game plan? Is the poor batting performances from some because of the pitch, or is it because of bad game plans? We're going to be unraveling all of those type of things on this particular show. So we'll speak to you next, and we'll be bringing on some guests to have a chat with us about it. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatic Magazine, the daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. In this show where we talk about some major sports in South African cricket. This daily show is probably going to be centered around, obviously, the test match. Uh, it falls perfectly into our lap because lunchtime in the West Indies is 6 o'clock for us, and that's our time for to shine on here on the daily show. So welcome to the show, guys. Abai here with me, Aditya's with me. Marshall won't be coming today. He spoke to me about days that he is available, and I'll try my best to get him on those particular days. But remember, guys, he also has his own channel where he has to run as well. So we only can get him on a couple of shows to help us add some flavor to the show, of course, from a West Indies perspective and a Caribbean feel. So please, guys, go over there and obviously give him a like and a subscribe too. And I'm hoping that his fans too will come over here and support us as well in the future. But let's talk about this particular game so far. For me personally, is it game plan, or is it good bowling, or what is it? Is the pitch? I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of everything, because some of the batsmen maybe played some loose shots that they shouldn't have, or lost a bit of concentration before they played the shots. Like Calverain is a good example of that. Maybe shouldn't have played at that short delivery, should have just left it. There are some West Indian batsmen as well who maybe played too conservative. But there is an example of how to find the perfect balance. Now, hopefully I don't jinx this guy too, because I've jinxed Dean Algar now on the show. I've jinxed Rassie van der Dussen when I messaged by, and now I hope I don't jinx the next guy that I'm speaking about. But Quentin de Kock has found some synergy, found some balance on playing an attacking game and also playing a conservative game. I think he's approached his innings very well on this pitch, and I think he's kind of mastered the way this pitch is currently. Now, as the days goes on and as the sessions go on, as the sun bakes this pitch and the surface, we might get a little bit of a slower wicket. It might become a little bit easier to bat. What are your thoughts, Aditya? Let me start with you on what's your assessment of the game so far in this particular session so far?
Look, I think the Proteas are obviously in the driver's seat, and they look like excuse me, they bat a little bit and at least accumulate another 50 to 70 runs. I think they'd be in a good position. As for the batting scorecard, you look at it and you feel like, it's a reflection of the pitch that we've got, and credit to the West Indies bowlers as well. They've made proper use of the conditions on offer, and they're good with the Duke's ball. So I think that's fine. And as for Rassie, I think he played a very important knock. Sometimes you do need to play time. You do need to soak up pressure. And the time that he came to bat, South Africa were in a precarious position. They needed someone to really hold one end down and just bat time. Sometimes Test cricket is about tiring the opposition out. And with the Duke's ball in hand, and yesterday South Africa finished at 128 for four. That was a pretty delicate position to be in. So I thought he did well. I know there's been some criticism of his strike rate, but I think generally, I have no complaints with the way Rassie batted today. And Quinton de Kock, of course, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Aditya. The strike rate, I just wanted to jump on that particular spot and then let you continue again. That strike rate issue that people talking about in Test cricket, it doesn't matter to me. Particularly because South Africa needed someone to solidify that middle order, especially after we missed out on so many guys in the past. I mean, Jacques Callis used to bat quite slowly as well until he got in. So, yes, there are some innings, obviously, that he batted quite quickly, but he took his time to get in and to get that first century. And once he got that milestone, he kind of opened up. But Rassie van der Dussen, okay, I know he's a lot slower than what maybe Callis was, but I think South Africa needed that solidity in the middle order because we've always had explosive batsmen opening, and you have the perfect. Basically, you're supposed to have the perfect chemistry on top. But okay, Dean Elgin and Aiden Markram really haven't built a great partnership. I think the last great partnership that they had was probably Bangladesh. That's the only time I actually saw them put on a great partnership together that I thought was amazing. And then Dean Elgin and Aiden out on 97. So it's one of those situations where you have to have a balance in the team. And I think currently South Africa, with the current situation that they have, the players that are in this top 5 currently have a good balance at the moment. So I think that when you have that, don't be so harsh, especially because of the conditions of the pitch. Now it's also good bowling. I watched the replays of Sears. They played some analysis afterwards, and I was looking where that ball was pitching and where the bowlers got success. So around about the fourth stump, angling out, that is something that was consistent. And it's the ball angling in that really, really tricks the guys into thinking, okay, wait, it's going into that same area, but now it's swinging in, or now it's cutting in. It's more cutting in than swinging in, which is something that has to do with the way the seam is hitting the pitch. Abai, from your assessment so far, I think the bowlers particularly you have to take the hats off to them on both sides, particularly Sears and the way our bowlers bowled. But talk about Quinton de Kock's innings, for example. I mean, there's been quite a lot of stick with regards to Quinton de Kock over the past because he's went off form. But he's proving once again that class is permanent, is he not?
Yes, definitely. So if we look at the number side of things this session, 29 overs, 77 runs, 1 wicket, you can pretty much conclude that it was a pretty low-risk approach. And as far as Van der Dussen is concerned, I think it was very important for him to stick around. Even though he scored 46, I don't think that presents the bigger picture. So I think kudos to him for seeing through the relatively tougher phase. And then that's allowed for Quinton de Kock and Leon Mulder to play cautious cricket until lunch break. So I think it's been a productive session for the Proteas.
So we've got a new guy on the channel today, someone that I've been talking to on WhatsApp a little bit, and thank you, Abai, for inviting him over. But I want him to get some. You're going to be seeing his face quite a bit on this channel when he has the time to come on. Hopefully, I know I'm talking for him here, but maybe he should talk for himself. Let's introduce him to the show. Welcome to the show, Dan. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone.
Good to see you, man. I'm looking smart in the suit and everything. I know probably you're at work or whatever.
I figured it's my news debut, so I might as well dress up.
Excellent. I don't know how much of the tests you've been watching. We're having a little bit of a debate about, not a debate, but a chat about whether it's the pitch that is causing the batsmen to play the style of cricket they're playing currently, or the batsmen to approach the game as they are. Or is it the incorrect game plan? Because when you see innings like Quinton de Kock, for example, like the way he's playing now, he makes the pitch look so much easier to bat on than the other batsmen. So do you think it's maybe a game plan issue, or do you just think maybe it's just the fact that you need a guy that just is as talented as Quinton de Kock to be able to figure out the way the pitch is moving around?
I would say I'm kind of going to sit on the fence here and pick both. And the reason why is because the pitch itself is difficult. The bowling talent is incredible. I think everyone knew that this test going forward was just going to be an incredible display of bowling. So, a great batsman like Quinton is going to obviously know exactly, or is going to be able to read the pitch a lot quicker than some of the younger guys. And, we have a lot of young guys in the team. But also at the same time, I watched a good amount of it, or I listened to a good amount of it yesterday, and the West Indian commentators on the YouTube channel were actually pointing out that they were just disappointed in shot selection. Like, there was just bad decisions made by batsmen on both sides of the dressing room. And, that's something in tests that you just have to learn and kind of take your next lesson.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100% because we actually spoke about that at the beginning. We said we think it's a bit of both. We made the title the way it is because some people might fall onto the difficult pitch angle. Some people might say it's the wrong selection, but I think it's kind of in the middle. It's a bit of both because I think that the way Quinton batted, excellent. He showed it. Jason Holder, at the time at his crease, that little stunt that he had at the beginning, he was playing really well. He looked really. He ran out of partners, I feel. I think he needed someone at the other end to grit it out with him. Currently, Quinton de Kock has that with the way Vian Mulder's playing. Aditya, from your perspective, before we wrap the show up, do you think that the pitch will get easier to bat on as it goes along, or do you think that this pitch becoming slower might play into the hands of the likes of Cornwall and the likes of Keshav Maharaj later on?
It's very hard to tell because I was looking at the weather channel and trying to get a forecast of what it's going to be like, and it, as Lungi said the other day, it does look inconsistent, and it seems like weather patterns change dramatically within the span of an hour. So I honestly think it's hard to tell, and again, as batsmen, you're never really in on this pitch. You can never feel like you're settled. So I think ultimately the approach will have to be that of perseverance, where you're slightly more conservative than you are proactive. And now these two batsmen cannot afford to take a risk because South Africa needs to bat once and finish it off. A fourth innings chase here will be very, very tricky, assuming the rest of the batting lineup just falls apart and then West Indies put up a good show. So yeah, I think I don't know if it's going to be any easier, but I hope that batters who are set can be a bit more comfortable with how they approach the bowling.
What I've noticed is this is not going to be a type of pitch that you can block out the whole day. Because there are going to be those balls that are angling away from the bat are going to make it very hard for you to block. So I think that they need to finish it off very soon. We spoke about what a good lead will be for South Africa. We see 250 to 300 will basically almost seal it, I think. But we can't make that mistake, South Africa, as well, to underestimate the opposition, because the West Indies are a type of team that you never know what's going to happen. One massive 100 from one of their players, and South Africa's in big trouble. So, let's just wrap this up, and then we can end off with Dan. Just your final thoughts of this particular game and where it's heading.
All right, so I definitely want to see de Kock and Mulder add as many runs as possible, but at the same time, I also want the tailenders to add some bonus runs too. I think that's been a bit of a concern recent times for the Proteas. So, yeah, it would be nice to see the tailenders maybe boost up the total a little bit. Hopefully, I'm not saying this is a jinx or anything, but hopefully Quinton de Kock century, fingers crossed, still possible, and I hope Vian Mulder can convert this into a substantial score too. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, we've seen great bowling. We're going to continue to see great bowling. We need a substantial lead, and I agree we should build our lead in the first innings and not risk it in the fourth inning, or not risk it in the fourth, and just not take unnecessary chances, because that is the story of South African cricket. Is a lot of times people just take unnecessary chances, and then it bites us in the butt a bit.
100% true. And guys, thanks for tuning in for this lunch sessions that we have for the daily show. That we'll keep it short so you guys can go back to watch the cricket, of course, and enjoy Quinton de Kock and Vian Mulder, seeing them back together. Obviously, I'm hoping that we can get to see Vian in an extended run for a change, because he has an excellent talent for batting, and he needs more opportunities to be able to show what he's capable of, because moving up the order might be a very good thing for the future for Vian if he gets that experience. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot for coming on all our shows and supporting us so much. You can see that we are rapidly growing in our subscriber base after we hit that 2,000 mark. So continue going that. The next stage, of course, is going to be that 3,000 mark. So help us get there, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future videos, please. And enjoy the cricket. You can catch all the updates and all the written updates. Abhay has been doing an excellent job with some, and Aditya will be doing some on the weekend. I'll be doing them too. So we'll be mixing it up. You'll be getting different voices for our wrap-ups. If you guys want a quick wrap-up of what's happening, if you're busy working and you can't watch these videos, then go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your updates. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys again tomorrow with another show. Take care.